Hi, Vera here
Christina
from
Soul's Enlightenment.
As if you guys didn't know already.
Yeah.
Well, those are for those that are new, right?
Exactly. And Vera and I have a really cool subject to talk about today that we had some questions about. And
it's about is everything charted?
Is absolutely everything charted in life, even
illnesses
or disease. So what do you think, Vera? Is everything charted?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what's really interesting?
That's all folks know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting because, we're on this path, right? And then, but every single path that veers off of the path that we're on will eventually reach the same destination, right?
Exactly. It's just sometimes it takes people longer to get that lesson than others. But, we do have an outline. Sometimes there's things that are not charted specifically, but it's an outline of how you want to handle that lesson. And the biggest example, or the most common one, I guess, that we used at the office was you could be you charted a car accident.
Yeah.
And it could either be a fender bender or a full-on, wreck.
Right.
So that's how and that's where option lines come in. If your option line is health or whatever. And basically that's what we wanted to talk about today, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting too because I wanted to mention one time, Angus, in a session for you, I was asking him about something in my chart, and he said that was 25, 39, 14, something like that. It was really interesting because everything that crisscrosses, every little thing in our chart, like if you think of a phone book, something really intricate, it all has numerical references.
Oh.
Like he knew exactly where that was.
Wow.
It is that specific. I mean, it can be that specific.
Wow.
Every single option.
I know.
Isn't that fascinating?
I wish I remembered all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really fascinated by that.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and it was really, it's been an interesting journey for you, hasn't it, Vera? With all the different examples that you can give of seeing different people's situations, and with all those hypnosis sessions you did, and how things appear in their life. Like, let's say with disease and illness, there's so many different reasons why, right?
Yeah.
There's cell memory. In other words, we chart things, but then it can be worse.
Exacerbated.
Because it's something that is brought on by cell memory. Once we get into life, they say on the other side, all bets are off because anything can happen.
Right. Yeah.
Even though it's charted, it can be worse, or it might not have to get that bad.
Right.
But we have a very good example, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's really kind of sad.
Yes, one of our viewers. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, she's in a situation that she's nauseated constantly. She just had to have surgery. She's sick all the time, throwing up. Like she cannot keep water or food down. It's gotten bad. Like it comes up with stress. She's been like this ever since she was a baby, but it comes up with stress. But now it's like constantly, because what's doing it is actually being at home with her family.
Yeah.
Because of the control.
Yeah.
The control that these particular
because
people
it
have.
was interesting that it was, she was born that way, but really we know that she charted it too. But then at a certain point, it got worse.
Yes.
So it could be a past life that at that exact date or time or age that she was, that it triggered it again, or a situation with that person that she's in life with again. The same kind of situation. So generally, if you look at that, you would say, what is it in life that she can't stomach?
Right.
Because that's the general gist of that. But it's so much more intricate than that.
Yeah, because, in this particular case, and this is interesting too because everything is charted, but we also chart exit points. Right. And it's difficult because if she can't regain control over her life, she might still take this exit point.
Right.
So it's like you said, it's all individual why people have disease and why we have illness, and, but that's another part of it. And if she can gain the strength to take back control over her life and find options, like in this particular situation, it would be to leave where she lives with some of her
family,
relatives.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and how challenging is that, especially when it's been pounded in your head that you're not worthy, that you're not good enough. And the reason why you're sick is because you're not, what was the word?
Well, she was
humble enough.
Yeah, humble enough. So in other words, she's being punished by God.
Yeah.
And God gave her this disease.
Yeah, because she is a gifted athlete.
Very gifted.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden this came on, Yeah. It seemed like anyway.
So it's like her dreams.
And now she believes that she's being punished.
Yeah. See, that's the
know, and then that adds on to whatever it is that she's getting from her family, and she has friends that are jealous of her,
right?
And she's hearing that they're talking about her, behind her back and that kind of thing. So that all adds up, and she's a teenager.
Yeah, she's young.
So it's everything is just 10 times worse because she doesn't think she's going to get better.
Exactly, and it's hard when we have diseases and illnesses to have hope.
Yeah, and her family is what? They're fundamental.
Yeah.
I mean, really. How could you say it? I mean, really Christian.
Yeah, a lot of guilt. A lot of guilt.
Yeah.
Not being humble enough is a good example of.
And we're not saying that Christians are bad. That particular way that they believe is very debilitating to all of those in their family.
Yeah. So
the girls,
So it's hard because one of the things that we can do is we can ask, because like we have spirit guides. Our spirit guide is someone that helps us to stay on our chart, and in this case it would be like to learn our lesson, for her to learn her lesson before it gets to this point.
Yeah.
And so we want to ask our guides, our spirit guide, to show us a message, show us signs to help me to stay on my chart that I can understand.
Yeah.
We can even do that for her.
Yeah.
If she doesn't,
And the thing is, too, a lot of people say, well, if you, pray for people, it changes their chart. No, it doesn't.
No.
They could either accept the prayers or the healing energy or whatever. They're still in charge.
Right.
So it does not change their chart.
Yeah.
Other than they accept it and they get better and that kind of thing.
Exactly. I wanted to say that's one of the things that I why I created that spirit guide image.
Yeah.
Is to bring our spirit guides to us, because when we can see it, it just helps to make it more real. That we can look for that. And I just wanted to show you really quick. She has a chart. These books are her chart. She's a spirit guide on the other side, and here's a chart that she helps us. They help us to stay on our chart, like we talked about.
Yeah.
And we can pray to them, like I said, to show us signs that we understand. But it's kind of difficult because her body reacting this way is a sign to tell her that something's not right. So the other thing that we can do is pray to our angels to help us with the healing process.
Yeah.
And in this case, to help her to break free of those tentacles of guilt.
Yeah, ties that bind.
Yeah. And to regain control of her life so that her healing can start to get better.
Yeah.
She can start to get better and move on. So I'm hoping that will be the case. It's difficult,
It's challenging, but it's something that she can, if she just waits a little bit longer, she'll be old enough to go out on her own. And then she's going to feel she's not even going to know how to feel, because it's going to be so much better.
Yeah.
She's not going to have that oppression that's around her 24/7.
Yeah. But, this is great, It's great because it's a perfect example to share with people of, these things are charted, because she did chart this. It just happens to be exasperated, like you said.
Yeah.
But this is to really get this lesson in this life so that she can be done with it, and then she can move on and thrive.
And that's another aspect of it, too, because since she became ill, she's having to stay home an extra year.
With the people, with the relatives that are
then right in her mind, it's like, this is never going to end.
Yeah.
So she'll hang in there and she'll be okay.
Yeah, and it's good for us because, like we said, we can learn from each other.
Yeah.
So any of you that might be going through some aspect of this that's similar, ask your spirit guides to show you signs that you can understand.
Yeah.
That will show you your path on your chart.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
We're looking forward to seeing you again next Saturday. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Bye.